Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. For many of you that have come across the game called Guess Who, or Who Is This? It's basically a game where two people are playing and trying to figure out or trying to find out who that person is that they've got hidden away on their side of the platform. Basically, you give out certain characteristics, whether that person might be a male or female, whether they have a hat or no hat, whether they got glasses or no glasses, whether they're old or young, and the other person eliminates one by one, and the first person who guesses the right person wins. Basically, this game in a way can represent our community, as Brother Harith will go on to explain.
Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. So essentially, like Sayyid Fadl mentioned, imagine that these two Guess Who boards represent our community or represent our ummah, but also represent the broader society, so the non-Muslim friends and community members that we have. Now, as we know, and as Sayyid Fadl said, many of our characteristics are represented through the superficial, through the outward appearance, such as a brother having a beard, or a brother wearing a ring, or a sister wearing a hijab. But what's most important is the intrinsic values which we have, such as having good akhlaq, having good morals, ethics, and having fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, taqwa.
That's true, and like I said, basically, when it comes to the physical aspect of a person, we're not saying that, of course, men don't have beards or women don't wear hijab. We're just saying that behind the action, there should be the sincerity that it's to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that it should be done correctly to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We'll give you certain characteristics now of the characteristics that might determine whether this person's a mu'min. For instance, if I ask Brother Harith, has your person got good akhlaq? Does he fear Allah? Is he known for someone that does righteous deeds and for that of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala?
So as you can see, Sayyid Fadl, unfortunately, there's quite a big portion of the community that didn't meet those values.
Yes, and the same goes back to me as well. If Brother Harith was to ask me certain characteristics, whether this person who's supposed to be a Muslim has certain characteristics that are far from it.
So Sayyid Fadl, does your person have immorality or is unethical? In other words, have bad akhlaq? Do they aim to please people rather than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? And lastly, does this person seem to have love for this world and is seeking this world rather than the akhirah, working towards the akhirah?
So these people also exist in our community as well. So, but really, when we are striving to be that of the true servants of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we of course know that the best examples are that of the Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam. And a hadith by the Prophet sallallahu alaihi explains it in a beautiful concept when he says, Inna Allah la yanzuru ila surukum, that God does not look at your appearance. Because as we said, appearance are very deceiving. Wala amwalukum, it doesn't look at your amount of money that you've got, especially for those that got money that even use it in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَلَكِنَّ يَنْظُرُ إِلَى قُلُوبِكُمْ وَأَعْمَالُكُمْ. But instead he looks at your heart. Is the heart a sanctuary of the love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the love of the Ahlul Bayt, and your deeds? Are your deeds in the way, or the actions in the way of pleasing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? But at the end of the day, no one knows themselves better than themselves. So we're asking the question, brothers and sisters, are you truly a servant of the Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala?
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.